Hello, everyone. Welcome to my kitchen. It's been a while since I posted a long format video on this channel. I guess this one could probably go on my cosplay channel, but this one's horror related and kind of an update on the Scream Obsession movie I've been working on. Yes, it is still being worked on slowly. Self-funding a film takes a long time. Same with getting the script written, music, which I do have some pieces. Actually, what you're hearing in the background, I'll try to throw in some of the tracks we're going to be using for the film, but I wanted to give kind of a status update on where we're at costume-wise, at least for main Ghostface, the main antagonist slash protagonist. You'll see. Um, Costume-wise, very exciting. Um, First off is this 3D printed voice changer. It's modeled after the SDX voice changer used in like Scream 5 and 6. This model is actually by CB Studios. If you're at all familiar with the Ghostface collecting scene, you'll know who he is. Fantastic guy. This was a free file he posted on Thingiverse. Printed it with my K1 Max. Just did a quick paint job. Looks great. I will get an actual SDX voice changer for the hero prop. Hoping to find one in that grayish white color. If not, I'll just take apart and spray one myself. That's fine. But yeah, very good lightweight model. So for scenes where it's not going to be close up, this will be what's used just because it can be thrown around. I can replace it with a 2-hour print. So yeah. Next up would be knives. We're going to be using a real Buck 120. Don't have that on hand currently, but we will have a set safe real steel Buck 120 for close-ups and hero shots and everything like that. For the most part, though, when we're running around with knives or chasing someone with knives, just because we're going to be safe, we're not going to have any accidents, we're going to do better than Rust did. Too soon for that, maybe, but very true. So for that, the main stunt knife we'll be using is this foam Buck 120 prop. This is heavily modified. It's from Rubber Johnny. You can buy it on Amazon and Etsy or his website. They're just PU foam. Very nice, very accurate Buck 120 props. By default, you're going to get some weird wrinkling with the PU foam. You're going to probably get some bad flashing, maybe some holes in the foam that you need to patch up. That can all be fixed with filler, primer, and repaint and heat gun, which is actually what I've done here. Is this is a full repaint, none of it's the original paint, and as you can see, it is very, very shiny. And this is actually done with just a can of Rust-Oleum Chrome. Pinstripes is just some cheap pinstripe tape from Amazon. Acrylic paint, I think it's an Apple Barrel Apple Barrel gloss black. I can actually grab it right here. Apple Barrel indoor outdoor gloss black acrylic paint, just brushed on. It's actually a really good gloss paint if you're not wanting to spray paint and you need to do minor details. Fantastic. That's what this is. It's foam, so it weighs literally nothing. Took it to a convention yesterday. Carried it around, no issue. The only issue is it's kind of cumbersome if you're trying to carry other stuff, but it weighs literally nothing and it can be swung around and all day. Really great, just for lightweight, and actually it could be used for some hero shots. That's how metallic and chrome I've made it. In fact, people at the convention yesterday had to do a double take and make sure it wasn't a real knife. So yeah. Next up would be, it's a slightly off-sized, not fully accurate Buck 120, and I need to redo the paint because it's gotten pretty scuffed up. But this is a 3D printed Buck 120. If I can find the link to the file, it was like $10, I think. This guard thing was the wrong dimensions. It wasn't flush with the handle like it's supposed to be, so I modified that myself. but this one's not really going to be used in the film a whole lot. It was just a test to see if 3D printing a Buck 120 would be a good alternative to these foam ones. Um, Not really. It's heavy. I had to use 100% infill to make sure it was sturdy enough to handle the sanding, priming, and being swung around and glued together. Model-wise, it's constructed really well. It's made very well, but it's not accurate enough, and it doesn't look quite the same as this one. The dimensions are way off. So, unfortunately, this one's a no-go. Um, but still, a fun little novelty. It's really heavy because that 100% infill, so it's fun to swing around. It's got some weight to it. But yeah, so that's kind of the 3D printed weapons and props down. Next up to talk about would be masks. Primary mask being used just because, I mean, it's not a surprise, but anyone in the collection world wants to know exactly what model mask is used for a film. I'm not sure if that'll go for my fan film or not, but main mask used will be the brand new to this year 2024 EUs. These are some of the best looking Ghostface masks we've had, I want to say, ever. They fixed some of the casting flaws from previous years where like there was a bunch of like little potholes and like pits in it. Finish wise, like paint wise, they're very clean. They're cheap. They're $9 at Walmart if you include tax. So yeah, hero mask wise, this is what will be used. This is the hero mask we are going to be using, or at least one of them. Um, what makes it different from a stunt or regular mask is the darker eye mesh. It makes it pretty difficult to see clearly out of, but close-ups and everything, it's going to look fantastic. And the shrouds, we're not reshrouding them or anything. We're actually just doing my very uncreative method of cutting off the tassel and then repurposing that tassel fabric to make new eye mesh so it's darker. I believe it was actually CB Studios who gave me that idea for the darker eye mesh. It works great. The hero masks will have Velcro attached to it. Eventually, I'll have the stunt masks have Velcro attached to it too. That's just so the hood doesn't move around while you're running around. But yeah, beautiful masks. Because it comes with a plastic insert, I threw those away. But the plastic insert gives it a beautiful shape, crescent mouth-wise. They're gorgeous. And they still smell like that new version of the vanilla scent. So, fantastic. Here's one of the stunt masks we're going to be using. This is actually a 2023 EU. These were notoriously hard to find. Spent more than I'd like to admit on getting this copy from Macari. It does have a flaw in the bridge of the nose where it has a little pitting. Other than that, it's a pretty nice copy still. Can't really complain too much. Same thing where I just cut off the tassels. It doesn't have Velcro or the darker eye mesh yet. But these new 2023 EUs and 2024 have decent eye mesh where it's not super visible anyway. So yeah, that's nice. And then a mask that will be used in a few shots, probably not super close-ups, but primarily for press reasons. We're going to be using this mask. And you may obviously realize the differences right away with this mask. First, vinyl's floppier because it's an older model. It's actually from, I think it's first or second run 25th anniversary masks. And the reason why it's in a bag is because it's part of that run. It has the blue dot issue, which is very unfortunate. But this mask is provided by Workbench Designs. So that means it is 100% accurate to what they would use in Scream 5 and mostly Scream 6. Those modifications are heavier than what we're doing for our main masks, but it's still a really cool piece to have, especially on set. It just looks very, very good on camera. Not so much in person because of the blue dots, but it's not a huge deal. They're primarily around the eyes anyway, so you can't see them. So yeah, modifications for this one, I don't really want to spoil too much just because I don't know how much Burke wants everything spoiled. but all you need to know is longer shroud, darker eye mesh, and it has the ultra white insert into the mouth to keep its shape pretty much permanently. There's some other modifications there, but I'm not going to be the one to say what they are. So that's it for the masks. This one is in quarantine to prevent the blue dots from spreading. Don't want it to spread to my other masks, so yeah. Next will be the hero robe. This is the hero robe. We're hoping to get one or two more, but with how expensive they are, that may cause some complications. Hero robe is not made by who you'd expect. Most people would say, oh, go with Scream Robes or Public Enemy Studios or Little Shop of Horrors. Now I know they're doing a giveaway. They all make fantastic robes, ones that are probably more accurate than this one, but I wanted something that was very easy to order through a online store, not through Instagram. I've had bad experience ordering through Instagram before. So we went with Nell Cosplay. Nell Cosplay makes a fantastic robe. It's competitively priced. It's around the same price as a Scream robe from a couple years ago. I don't know what their pricing looks like now. But yeah, it's competitively priced to that. It has Velcro installed to the hood by default. The orientation is different than other manufacturers, but I like it because it gives you different depth options. So you only need a tiny little square of Velcro for the mask, and then you can set it to whatever depth you want into the hood, which is great. Fabric-wise, it's Lurex. It's probably off-the-shelf Lurex. I don't think it's a special weave like what Screen Ropes does, but it's fine. It's a sparkle Lurex fabric. And honestly, because it is one-sided and thinner than Scream Robes, it's probably more accurate in terms of how it's sourced from like how the main movies were sourced. Again, it's not going to be fully accurate, but it's a sparkle robe, and it looks great. It's Scream 1 pattern inspired, so squared off arm drapes, triangle bottom of it. I just prefer having that. It doesn't have any Velcro on the chest. I don't like the Velcro. It gets caught up in your gloves way too easy, and this fabric frays really bad if it gets caught by Velcro, as I've unfortunately experienced with this mask when it's got caught on the gloves yesterday. But it's a beautiful robe. And so hero robes, like I said, we're hoping to get a couple more of these. And then we're also going to be making a couple in-house just off of a different pattern for a surprise appearance thing. So that'll be cool. And then in terms of stunt robes, just because we want them to be easier to take on and off, a little bit more lightweight, we're actually going to be repurposing some 25th anniversary robes. I don't have one on hand right now to show, as I'm still waiting for mine to arrive, but we'll be cutting off the triangle things on the sleeve so it looks closer to this. We'll be modifying the drapes and everything with our own fabric. But those robes, I've had one before. They're very lightweight. The hoods are more flimsy, but they're lighter weight, so they don't get in your face quite as much. So those will be used for stunts just because we don't want to destroy a very nice, expensive robe doing stunt work and rolling around and everything. So yeah, costume-wise, main Ghostface is primarily figured out. Boots, just because boots seem to be what everyone cares about. They're just going to be Walmart branded work boots dyed dark brown. Again, we're going very Scream 1 inspired on the look. The only thing that's not going to be strictly Scream 1 is the mask, because I'm not dropping $2,000 on multiple times on Gen 1s, as I don't have the budget. Gen 1s are really cool shaped, but they don't look particularly good compared to what the modern offerings are. And again, I'm self-funding this film practically by myself. That way, really the only thing riding on it is my own money. So yeah, that's the costume. Hope you enjoyed kind of this first look at it. It's still evolving a little bit. Like I said, there's going to be a couple other special costumes made for things not yet to be announced. But yeah, that's all we have for this time. If you liked this video, or if you have any questions regarding pieces of this costume, feel free to drop a comment. I will try my best to answer them. Sometimes I don't get notified about people's comments, so you sit there for 6 months waiting for me to reply. Sorry about that. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you all next time. Peace.